Have you ever worked your butt off for a client only to have them not pay your bill? It's frustrating, right? But what if I told you there's a simple way to collect the money that's owed to you? In this video, I'm going to share with you a simple strategy for collecting money that clients owe you, ensuring that you are paid promptly and without unnecessary stress. I'll also show you how to get paid before they pay any of their other creditors, how to have someone else handle your collections for you, and how to avoid having future clients leave you with unpaid bills. Finally, I'm going to share with you a simple collections timeline that you can implement immediately to collect on those past due balances. First, let's talk about how to view your accounts receivable. In most cases, you've already provided the service, meaning the money belongs in your bank account, not in someone else's pocket. It's important to remember that the client who owes you money likely also owes other people money as well. So it's essential that you're the one that they're paying attention to, and you do that by making more noise than the other collectors. You want to be at the top of their list, not at the bottom, because the squeaky wheel gets the grease, or in this case, the squeaky wheel gets paid. Collecting this isn't just important for cash flow, it's essential to having money to invest in growing your business with employees and marketing and things like that. And for some businesses, collecting these past due balances is essential just for survival. Now, the first step is to ask yourself some crucial questions to understanding the scope of your accounts receivable problem. The first step is figuring out what percentage of your revenue is tied up in accounts receivable. Now, often this number is going to be much higher than you anticipated, and knowing this will spark immediate action, which is a good thing. Going through all of your past due invoices and adding up the numbers, compare this number to the percentage of your annual revenue. Is it 5%, 10%, more? Once you have this number and understand its impact on your income, it should provide you with the motivation that you need to act. Think of it this way: if your taxes suddenly increase by 10%, you'd be pretty concerned, right? The situation with your accounts receivable is no different. Step number 2 is to determine the age of the receivables. Are they 30, 60, or even 90 days past due? This exercise should not be a one-time thing, by the way. It should be done weekly or at the very least monthly. Now, many businesses only notice a client's overdue status once 2 or 3 payments have been missed, and addressing a single past due payment is a lot easier than collecting several missed payments. This is why it's important that you're constantly monitoring your accounts receivable, as I said, weekly or at the very least monthly. So now we know how much we're owed and how long we've been owed it, let's talk about how to collect it. First, make collections easier in the future by immediately adding clauses in your fee agreements and contracts that add late fees and charge interest on overdue balances. Just make sure to check with your local rules. This strategy will incentivize clients to pay quickly because the longer they delay, the higher their balance will be. Additionally, it gives you extra negotiation power by allowing you to waive those additional fees as a good gesture in exchange for their immediate payment, encouraging quicker resolution of their outstanding debts. Now, step 3 is to change your mindset around collections. You have to shift from the mindset of requesting a payment to the mentality of demanding a payment. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that Tony Soprano would request a payment, or would he demand it? Now, obviously, we're not going to be breaking any kneecaps, but switching your mindset from requesting to demanding is crucial. It displays confidence and authority while conveying that the payment is not optional, but an expected part of their agreement with your company. You did your part, now it's time for them to do theirs. Step 4 is to assign someone on your team to oversee the reporting and collection of accounts receivable. Give them an incentive, such as a flat fee or a percentage of the amount collected, to motivate them more. Just be sure to check with the local rules in your area about what you're allowed to offer. Step 5, streamline your accounts receivable process by creating a plan for when an account becomes delinquent. First, create email, text message, and phone call templates and scripts for your team. My favorite tool for generating these scripts and templates is ChatGPT. Whenever possible, incorporate loss aversion psychology by emphasizing what the clients stand to lose if you stop providing services. Loss aversion is a psychological principle that states that people are more motivated to avoid losses than they are to acquire equivalent gains, and it can be a powerful motivator in these communications. By highlighting what they stand to lose, you can motivate them to settle their outstanding balance promptly. For example, if you're a law firm, demonstrate how losing adequate legal representation will cost them more than just paying their bills in the long run. Also, if a client reaches out about financial difficulties, be sure to include guidelines around alternative payment arrangements. It's better to work with them than not get paid at all. Next, create a schedule of communications to ensure your team consistently follows up with clients and reinforces the importance of timely payments. Here's a sample schedule of communications. Start with an initial email on day 1 to inform the client of the missed payment and present available payment options. By day 3, follow up with a call, an email, and a text to address any concerns and offer solutions to get their account current. On day 5, send a second round of communications to remind them of the overdue balance and inform them of the potential next steps, such as discontinuing services, collections, or both. Now, if there's been no response by day 7, send a formal demand letter via regular mail detailing the outstanding amount and the client's obligations. On day 10, escalate the situation by sending a certified letter outlining the consequences of continued non-payment, such as suspension of their services or added fees. Now, as the days progress, continue the outreach with additional phone calls, emails, and texts, emphasizing the urgency and potential repercussions. By day 25, issue a pre-collection letter, giving the client a final chance to handle the account before it is handed over to collections. Finally, on day 30, assess the situation and decide whether to involve a collection agency or pursue legal measures while informing the client of the consequences of non-payment. By implementing these tactics, you can expect to recover 35 to 75% of your receivables, which is money that would have otherwise gone uncollected. The most important steps of this process are constantly monitoring your accounts receivable, designating a team member to manage your accounts receivable, and developing a solid collection strategy. Proactive communication with clients can prevent delinquency before it even starts, and being persistent and assertive in your follow-ups ensures you remain a priority for payment. By prioritizing these efforts, you'll not only improve your business's cash flow, but also enhance its overall financial health and growth potential.